Spider-Man is one of the most popular superheroes of all time. He might be the most popular superhero besides Superman or Batman, and people like him a lot, and there's no wonder why his movies make so much money and why they're praised so much. Whenever people first think about Spider-Man, they might think of one of these great movies, or one of his many villains, but I'd say the first thing that most people think about is the suit. It's so iconic, and it covers the entire body. This was done intentionally so that anyone can wear the suit, and so that anyone can see themselves in Spider-Man. And when adapting superhero stories from the comics and turning them into movies or shows, you have to make sure you adapt everything well, including the costume. Today I'll be looking at all the pre-MCU Spider-Man costumes that released theatrically. 100 views or 50 likes and I'll make a second video about all the MCU Spider-Man suits, since Tom Holland has way more than Tobey and Andrew. Before we can talk about the first high-budget live-action classic suit, I want to talk about the first high-budget live-action homemade suit. It may look like shit, but it's one of the best pieces of shit I've ever seen. The sweatpants, the baseball/motorcycle gloves, the red ski mask, the hoodie with the spray-painted spider. This just screams low-budget nonsense. This suit just screams prototype suit. And honestly, I like that the exact same spider logo that's on his chest ends up going on the actual suit. And the only reason he throws this suit together is because his main one's not done yet. But he did have that concept in mind first. I like this suit. It's a unique interpretation of what a homemade Spider-Man suit with a low budget would look like. I can't say the same for the actual classic suit though. That's not much of a problem. It is a Hollywood movie and they want to show off how good the suit can be. But there's no visible seams or anything, and it looks like a giant rubber masterpiece instead of something someone could actually make in their own home. I don't really mind that. This is a movie about a guy with spider powers fighting a guy who calls himself the Green Goblin, so I don't really care that much. I only really care about how they adapted the classic suit itself. And I brought in a special guest to talk about this suit, AwesomeMan37.
Okay, so the best live-action Spider-Man suit. The best live-action Spider-Man suit is, without a doubt, Tobey Maguire's suit. It just beats all the rest, okay? Except for its black suit. Its black suit, it's more like gray than black. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was Spider-Man I grew up with, and that was like, you know, if I closed my eyes and thought about Spider-Man, it'd be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. The silver webs on the suit, it just looks so cool. And it's like they took their own spin on it, but you can still tell it's Spider-Man. You can look at that superhero and be like, oh, that's Spider-Man. But, you know, I just like the design. The spider on the back looks cool, looks manly, it looks awesome. So that's my favorite live action suit, okay?
Thanks, Awesome Man. And Awesome Man's right, they did take their own spin on it, with these sharp, angled lenses, and these sick-ass silver webs. In fact, the reason that the webs are silver as opposed to black is so that they could be more reflective and show up better on cameras back in the 2000s. And the way I rate these suits is based on how accurate they are to their comic counterparts, as well as just how cool they look. And this remains pretty accurate to the source material, only taking small but necessary liberties. And not a lot of people know this, and trust me, I get why, they probably don't care as much as I do, but the suit actually changes a little bit with each movie. The first movie has a bit more of an orangey red, but in later movies it becomes more of a legitimate red and the blue gets a little bit darker, as well as the Spider-Man 1 suit having a different spider on the front and back. And the Spider-Man 2 and 3 suit look way more similar and have much less noticeable changes, mostly just in colors. The webs are their most darkest in Spider-Man 2, while they're usually seen as their most brightest in Spider-Man 3. The Spider-Man 1 suit also has slightly bigger lenses. And honestly, I like the front logo on the Spider-Man 1 suit more than Spider-Man 2 and 3. And if you know me, I'm a huge fan of big-ass Spider-Man lenses. And now the Sam Raimi black suit. Please, put your guns down! I know I just ruffled a few feathers with that one, but just let me explain. This suit looks, cool. It looks cool. But it's lazy as hell. It's just a black recolor of the normal suit. And yeah, it looks cool, but it doesn't look nearly as cool or as creative or different as the original black suit. Let's look at the differences between the classic suit and the original black suit. The classic suit is red and blue with all sorts of varying eye lenses, and it has two separate spiders. The black suit is all black except for the giant white lenses, the giant white spider that connects to another white spider on the back, and the two little white squares on his hands. Now, how much of that original black suit is remaining on the version in the movie? Well, this one's black, and it has slightly bigger eyes, and a slightly different spider symbol, but that's really it. Compare that to the red Raimi suit, where they kept pretty much everything from the original comic design. And even though the webs are silver, they still have the webs. They actually were going to put the classic black suit in the movie, but they thought it looked too much like a porno gimp suit. I guess I can see what you mean, but I don't think these Spider-Man fans would have cared. It's a silly-ass movie, we've been okay with a silly-ass suit. And trust me, it could have worked in live action. Oddly enough, for as much as people shit on the 2007 Venom, he actually has the spider symbol. Why couldn't you at least put this on the suit? Even if they keep this symbol as silver instead of white, it would have been better than just a recolor of the red and blue suit. But besides that, it still looks pretty cool, I guess. And I know I just took a big ol' shit over that for not being super accurate to the source material, but here's an actual good redesign, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit. Now, why do I think this radically different looking classic suit is a good redesign? Well, it's all because of the purpose of the movie. In this movie, Peter is not a hero, but that's the thing. He's not a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man until the second movie. In the first movie, this is a vigilante suit. The reason for all the crazy lines going around his body, as well as the angry, menacing yellow eyes, is because 1, the suit's not finished, and it doesn't get finished till Amazing Spider-Man 2, and because he's trying to be Batman, and scare the criminals, because he's not putting on the suit to become a hero, he's putting it on to find the man who killed his Uncle Ben, and he was probably planning on killing them too. Until, of course, he realizes that with great power comes great responsibility while saving the kid on the bridge and becoming Spider-Man. And so he gets a new suit and becomes a hero. But that's the reason why I think these two suits work perfectly together in this duology. Even if this duology, especially the second one, isn't perfect. Also, out of the 3 live-action Spider-Men, Andrew is the tallest, and I think that might be part of the reason why they made the spider symbol so long on both of the suits. The longer spider symbol complements his body. And many people call the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit perfect. While I don't think it's perfect, it's definitely a contender for the most accurate suit, and one of the best suits. But there are some small problems I have with it. The spider symbols are great, but, and you'll probably hate me because you'll never unsee this after I tell it to you, but the symbol on his chest is really low. Look at this shot in No Way Home. Tobey's is center on his chest and Andrew's is almost on his stomach. It's really, really weird. If this symbol was just moved up a little bit more, just a few inches, I would like it a lot more. Plus the colors are kind of weird. It's a really somewhat shiny, somewhat velvety maroonish red that's really dark along with the blue, but it still looks pretty good. Plus I can't hate because it has those big beautiful lenses. And also, I had a second special guest. Take it away, Papa Spank.
I mean, I'm already biased because Andrew's my favorite, but when it comes to their suits alone, I will still argue that Andrew has the best suits. Now, I personally take into consideration the homemade feeling of each of the Spider-Man suits. You really got that only with Tom with his first one. The rest, Tony and them kind of helped him with. He had Stark Tech and all that. And while that's cool in its own way, that, in my mind, then my own feelings, that just kind of demeans the purpose of everything Spider-Man's done for himself. The homemade feeling of, it getting torn, and Andrew, and I guess Tobey in some senses, having to, fix it, mend them, stuff like that. And just the overall look. Personally, I like the Andrew Garfield second suit more. Because, of course, it hits the marks of the classic comic suit. It has the nice dark red and blue, has the big wide eyes. I think it's a very great suit. Now, we can talk about the credibility of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as a good movie overall, but that's a whole nother video that Burnt Cheese is definitely not going to do. But the homemade aspect of him crafting his suit, especially in the first Amazing Spider-Man, that process and the reveal of it was awesome. I wasn't really the biggest fan of the yellow lens eyes. It's whatever. They fixed it in the second one. But I mean, I know you're thinking, Tobey Maguire's is homemade. Yeah, but my thing is, I always thought it looked not only a little clunky, not in the third movie. The third movie was okay with the symbiote suit. I like that. Overall, I just think the teen aspect and craftsmanship of Andrew's suits just have more charm to it. It really fits his Spider-Man's wit and personality. I just think they look the coolest, they fit the actor well, and they just have a lot of physical charm. Alright, Burnt Cheese, bring me my fucking money.
Thanks, Papa Spank. And honestly, I can't choose which one of these is my favorite. or which one is the most accurate. I'd say it's tied between the Raimi suit and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit. I would like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit more if it had better spider symbol placement and it just had better colors. The two things I think the Raimi suit do much better. Plus, I grew up with the Raimi suit, so it's kinda hard not to choose it. There is one suit that I think is better than them both, but I'll talk about that if I get enough views or likes. Also, I saw that y'all really want to see JoJo content. I really want to diversify my content and not become a JoJo channel, but I am willing to make some JoJo videos for you guys since that's what you want to see. I'm going to be working really hard on my YouTube so that this hopefully becomes my full-time job eventually. And also yes, JoJo and Fortnite 3 will be my next video. I am also hoping to review maybe other anime, other games, movies, and I hope you're here for it. I really want to make a video about my current YouTube goals. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it, but I really want to hit 1K before the month is over, and I'm hoping to have 10K by the end of the year. But I'll just have to wait and see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good day. Also, this suit is ass.